Podcast starts now. Welcome all to StraightioLab. George, you're being patched in from New York City, and you were just commenting on how it feels like that creates a power dynamic.
Well, I just want to say off the bat that, first of all, yes, it creates a power dynamic. You are with the guest in the same room, whereas I am alone, as I was saying, in my beautiful, stunning New York apartment, sort of Carrie Bradshaw style. And so that's one thing. Second thing I will say is this is now the third time we've had, and we can't bring her in yet, so she's actually being silenced, as many women in our industry are daily. And I this is the third time we've had a coworker of yours on, and I think you are not shy at all about just going right into office gossip and office politics right in front of me, as though I am merely an audience to your gab fest.
I can't believe that you. Of course, I'm trying to connect with my coworkers. We only see each other in the office and never see each other outside of it. And so when I see them outside,
this is my office. But this is my office.
George, this is crazy. Yes, Sophie and I have never been in a room alone together.
Except for that one night. No, but George, if you feel left out, literally just like write on the show.
Yeah.
Like...
Damn.
She's got jokes.
I love when Sophie's got tea.
Haven't even introduced myself, and I am being literally cornered.
No, I want to say about the power dynamic.
You think I didn't get that packet, sweetheart?
Everybody in North America got that packet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people in South America, I heard.
Ooh.
We went global.
Muy caliente.
I also, whenever there is the power dynamic and and I'm the one in power, as in someone is in the studio, I'm like, no, there's no power dynamic.
Don't look at the camera. Don't look at
Every time it's fine, I'm like, yep, this is normal.
I do think that's true. And you also like,
well, you know my
there's
curves.
there's a sort of like, there's this gay guy thing that happens where you're perpetually the underdog, but then the second you get a little snippet of power, you're immediately fully a supervillain. And I do think that happens to Sam when he is in the same room as the guest. So suddenly he goes from like, oh, I'm just a little boy from the Midwest to, so our next guest, you might know from After Midnight.
No,
It's true. When he's at work, he's so baby.
No, it's really
he can
true.
be baby.
Yeah.
It's actually like I've infantilized myself at work a little too much. I had that realization recently where I was like, I am capable. Like,
no, of course you're capable. We all know you're capable. That doesn't make you less baby.
Yeah, I'm literally like, someone do it for me.
Yeah. No, this is something I've had to...
It's rough.
When we're in a room, because I also was like the latest in the room to start. Not that I'm talking about the show.
No, but this isn't about the show. This is about our job.
Yeah, and we'll like be in the room, and I don't know how to. I've never had like a job where I had to learn like Excel and stuff, and so we'll be in like a group, and we're supposed to like change something in like a spreadsheet, and then Sam and I just like our computers are so far away from us, and we're like, so who's gonna do that?
Somebody should do that.
Who's gonna do that?
The other time that power corrupts me is on my birthday. When it's my birthday, I'm like, oh, suddenly everyone's treating me like they should. Like this is normal. And then
that's interesting because I feel like your last couple of birthdays you've been dare I say, you've made yourself smaller in the sense that you have like resisted planning ahead and having a big event. You've been like, oh, I'm just little old me. Like, I'll just send a little message a day before. And, if you're in town, come over. If not, it doesn't matter. I'm nobody.
That is how I've been acting.
Is it because you're like pulled out of New York? Is it because you feel...
It's because I'm in transit. But even in New York, I was doing it.
Yeah,
I was being but that's because of, I was worried about inter-community politics.
Yes, it's very hard when certain people in your different groups don't like each other or whatever. Yeah, it is really hard.
And so it was
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't even know who likes who anymore. This is something, I think that your move actually threw off the balance of my social life as well, because my nuclear chosen family has been thrown out of whack. And now I genuinely don't really know what my position is in the larger social order.
Oh, that can be so tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Like you lost somebody? Like how did it throw it off?
I feel like there was, when Sam was here, there was a nucleus of people that was like kind of vaguely speaking, like I would say like Sam, our friend Max, a couple of people where I knew that, like, let's say I didn't have plans on a Friday, I could text them, we could at least get a drink.
Yeah, reliable. You're seeing them regularly.
Yeah, go-to.
That is gone. And of course, I'm still friends with all the other people, but the group element is not there. And I actually sort of think, weirdly, my way of dealing with it is like becoming more of like boyfriend guy, where now I'm suddenly just doing things with Matthew, and I'm less likely to try to be in a group.
I think I'm doing a really similar thing because here I don't have friends that are like, just grab a drink friends. It's always like, I'm trying to be friends with them. Like, it's a lot of like,
that's the hardest. That's the hardest part about LA. And I talk because it's like everybody that moves to LA. Well, like I have a lot of friends that moved from Canada to LA. A lot of people from New York moved to LA. And I think that the hardest part is kind of that weird first year or two of like friend making, because in New York, it's like if you want to like hang out with somebody or grab a drink, everybody's already out and doing stuff. Number one. Number two, it's like so easy to get around the city. And so it's like if somebody's doing something, you like hop on the subway, take 2 stops, like you see them there. In LA, because everything is a 50-minute drive, when you're like making plans to hang out with an acquaintance, you're kind of like, okay, well, I've never spoken to this person. Do I want to drive 2 hours this evening to have maybe 1 cup of coffee with them? And so it's like, there's so many different barriers to like sparking the friendship in the first place that like I got a text from a girl who I really like, who I want to be friends with, but we've been trying to hang out for so many months now. And it's like, it's coming across like I don't want to hang out. She texted me and she was like, hey, because I flaked last time, did I ruin our chances of like friendship? And it's like, no, I don't have 6 hours tonight to go to Glendale.
Yeah, so lose my number, bitch.
So
you know what it is?
hell.
New York is like the jump rope thing where people are doing 2 jump ropes and you can always jump in, and everyone somehow like knows how it works, and everyone's like jumping in and jumping out, and then you can even leave for a few days and come back and the jump rope girls will still be there. Whereas what LA is people are constantly planning a very complicated game of Dungeons and Dragons, and you are never being told the rules. The location changes every time. Somehow it keeps getting earlier and earlier. You get there, immediately people are already mad at you and passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Also, you get there and everyone's like, oh, we're all sober.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there literally isn't a standard of hangout here.
Yeah.
Like in New York, the standard is like, we'll get a drink. Like we'll go to a bar.
Yeah.
And here it's like, well, are you an alcoholic? Like, like here people don't, like, it's like, well, we could get dinner. And it's like, well, are we married? There's something so.
I think
like,
you have to find what somebody's regular activities are. I think that it's kind of more personalized because like I was like trying to make friends with Zach Noe Towers. Do you know Zach? And so I found out that he is also AMC A-list and goes to every single movie. And so now we go to every single movie together at the Grove, and we go and we walk around and we have a little something to eat and then we watch a movie. And so it's like, I think that you do have to kind of like sniff out what people are doing regularly already and then jump into that.
Yeah.
Very true. More personalized. I mean, I will never forget the experience of getting dinner. I was visiting, like getting dinner with 3 people, very famous comedians.
Oh.
And then...
Oh my gosh.
What?
I go over to one of their...
Introduce
and then
me.
I'm like... and then I'm like, okay, it's 9 p.m., it's 8:30 p.m. We had an early dinner. It's a Friday, it's a Saturday, or whatever. What's next? We go to one of their houses, and immediately we are all offered soft pants so that we can be more comfortable as we're lounging. Everyone else, literally, it was almost as though they knew where their soft pants were. Like the person whose house it was like, here's yours. And them looking at me and being like, oh God, like I don't have soft pants for you. I was like, first of all, when did everyone change into soft pants? Second of all, it is 8:30 p.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I hate that. This town does piss me off sometimes.
Yeah.
Where they really do. I cannot figure out where on the binary they are. Where I've seen like cocaine flying around here in a way that I've never seen in my life, and everyone goes to bed at 10 p.m. And I'm like, you cannot do both.
You have to start doing cocaine at like 3 p.m. if you're going to do that.
I'm like very confused.
Yeah, no, it is so confusing. The thing is like there are like party groups and then there are like sober LA groups. Like, and I think that they, because nobody hangs out, a lot of those people are friends with each other. So it's confusing, like who's in what group.
It overlaps in weird ways. LA is truly someone can be like, in the middle of doing a line and be like, I'm trying to live clean. Like, I'm literally doing clean living.
100%. It's the binary is board game or addicted to cocaine.
And the thing is, ketamine is dairy free. Like it's like it can fit both lifestyles.
But it can also be someone being like, I'm doing ketamine, and by the way, I'm currently meditating. Currently, what I'm doing is meditating.
Actively meditating.
Active meditation.
Yeah.
How long have you lived here? Oh, also, should we introduce our guest?
Please welcome.
Please let me join the conversation finally.
Please,
Sam, please do the honors. I mean, she's your coworker.
My coworker, Sophie Buddle.
That's all. Now I'm in.
Now you're
Yeah.
in.
Oh, sorry,
did you
Sophie.
want?
What are your credits?
No, I'm like, now I can talk or
You've seen her all over town.
Oh, a rising star.
A rising star.
A rising
God.
star. You might know her from After Midnight.
So,
Oh, what was I just saying? Oh, how long have you lived here?
like 2 years,
Oh, okay.
but straight from Canada. So
So you feel like you live here now?
yeah, I live here now. But the thing is, I also
You feel like settled in?
the first year that I was here, every single weekend I was on the road doing stand up, and so this is kind of my first. I feel like this is my first year
Got it.
in LA. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your favorite place to do comedy in the United States of America?
Oh my God. Don't even ask that.
Tell me.
Is that your straight thing? That question?
I don't know.
We're sort of
I just got
experimenting.
I just got back from a little mini tour, so I'm actually in my road dog.
Oh, okay.
Era.
What was your run? Where did you go?
I mean, it was very short. It was like Chicago, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, DC, Philly, Boston, New
Oh my
York,
God,
and
you
that
went to
was
the
it.
good places. You went to all
I
the
went
good
to the good places.
Yay. Okay, which place did you do in Pittsburgh? Did you do Bottle Rocket?
Yes, I did Bottle Rocket.
Did you meet the owner and the girlfriend of the owner? Aren't they so
Yes,
cute?
so sweet.
Yeah.
That was a great show. It was a very momentous show because I think, as I've mentioned on the podcast before, it was the night Trump got shot, which happened like 45 minutes away from Pittsburgh. Like it was
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania. And so I broke the news to many people in the audience because I came out, made a joke about it. Some people were confused because they hadn't read the news yet. So then I had to back up and be like, right, so that incredible joke I just made is about how Trump just got shot about 45 minutes away from here.
George was 45 minutes away and felt like he got shot.
Yeah. Well, I was literally like, is there going to be police presence at my show at Bottle Rocket?
That's so funny.
Surely
so funny.
mid-sized comedy venues are next.
I was doing Arizona right after Trump got shot, and Arizona very like Republican vibes, and I was doing like shows in a like Republican area, even like it was like very Republican, and I had this joke that was like, getting shot in the ear would have killed Joe Biden. And like, oh my God, they were like carrying me out on their shoulders and stuff. And I was like, I don't think I can do that because it's like, that's fun to do like in LA where there's like a bit of pushback. But then it's like when you do it and everybody just loves it, you're kind of like,
No, that's a scary
definitely-
moment.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about doing like kind of hacky, tops and bottoms gay jokes in like Boston where I started comedy. Like in Brooklyn, there's a sort of like winkiness to it where everyone's like, right, we all know the archetypes of the top and the bottom and we're all playing around with it.
Well, they're
There,
classic
you're-
characters in Greek theater.
Yeah.
it's like, what is your top and bottom joke? Like, what is
Right.
your take on the top and bottom joke?
Yeah. It's sort of a
Cut
writing
to-
exercise.
Exactly.
Cut to me at Laugh Boston and people just being like, he takes it up the ass. Like it's just like it's a
God.
very different thing.
Subtle. It's a very subtle there. They like the nuance of it.
Yeah.
The different archetypes.
Pretty much, yeah. I've never done a top and bottom joke.
I'm trying to think if I have. Probably not. I mean, I'm
Really?
so original and
Well,
not
needless to
hack.
say, I'm original in every way.
That's true. I do feel embarrassed that I don't have an airplane joke. Do you guys have like a single
Ooh,
airplane
let me think.
joke?
Do I have an airplane
I don't have a
joke?
single airplane joke.
Well, okay. So when Sam and I were on tour together, and we would do our show, which is not pre-written, we would definitely do a lot of airplane humor because we were traveling, and that's like all we
were
had to
doing
talk
airplane
about.
and city-based humor.
Yeah, we were doing.
Of course.
I actually was
the things we
addicted
don't
to.
let ourselves do.
Oh my God, a local reference.
Oh, I was in heaven.
Heroin. It's heroin to me.
I mean, do you remember when we were in Seattle and we figured out the 3 types of people in Seattle and we were in heaven? We were
Wait,
like,
what
the
are
3
they? What
types
are
are
they?
like outdoorsy,
Yeah.
Amazon, and like 90s grunge.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
No, I was like, I felt like I've never been prouder than of our local references and observations.
It makes me feel amazing. It makes me feel so amazing. I'm like, this is what a comedian is.
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Someone was asking me, like, did you enjoy touring by yourself more or with Sam more? And I was like, okay, touring by myself, I just felt like I'm a comedian touring. Touring with Sam, I was like, this is a traveling educational circuit. Like, the things we are doing here will be studied for generations. Like, it is not just me workshopping my hour. Like, there are insights that we came to that will never be able to be replicated.
Were you each doing an hour? Or each doing 30
No, we
or
were
40?
doing like basically like a variety show that was like inspired by the podcast.
Oh, okay.
We would have like 3 guests at each place and we would do segments with them, and it was all local people.
Because I don't know how often you guys have done your hour in front of your contemporaries, but we are all like out here on the road doing an hour with like half filler material. And sometimes it is so embarrassing. And then I'm always like, I should put out an hour. And then I'm like, half of my jokes are like, edibles are strong. Like just those like softballs that like work well on the road. And then I like forget that like other people are also doing that. Like if you're doing a full hour on the road, like it's not all, if it was all bangers, like you would be famous.
Sure, right.
Well, if you believe in meritocracy.
I don't know, Sophie. I know a lot of
it's the American dream,
I know a lot of famous comedians who are pretty much all filler.
That's true. Yeah.
You like touring. Touring has always, I've never enjoyed the concept, the premise. I really had fun with.
It's a false premise.
It's a false premise for me. I enjoyed it with George. That was really fun. And it did.
I mean, never forget when I first brought it up and you were
I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
I don't know if I want to leave Gizmo alone for that long. I was like, well, Sam, I think we're going to have to get over that.
You're an adult man. So.
Family comes first. Okay. And when I signed up to be a dog owner, it wasn't something I did flippantly.
Sam and I had the very earnest realization a couple of years ago where we were like, you know, one thing we have in common is that we both value family.
And that's kept you going all these years.
It really has,
I mean, honestly.
No, I get that. I feel like, I mean, family in whatever family means to you. Yeah. Because like I love my family, but I consider like my friends my family.
Of course. Which is why
our first segment?
Oh my God, is it time already?
We don't have to.
No, we can also.
It's just a suggestion.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Sophie, our first segment is called Straight Shooters. Okay. And in this segment, we gauge your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture by asking you a series of rapid-fire questions where you have to choose this thing or this other thing. And the one rule is you can't ask any follow-up questions about how the game works, even if you're confused. And if you do, we will absolutely yell at you.
We'll scream.
Great.
The joke I want to make, I'm not allowed to. I'm being silenced. Okay. Sophie. Malcolm in the Middle or Maren Morris's The Middle?
The first one.
Sophie. Emily in Paris or Jeremy O'Harris?
Neither.
Oh. Okay, Sophie. Taxation without representation or correlation is not causation?
Neither.
Wow. Okay, Sophie. Riding the blue wave or residing in a white enclave?
Oh.
First one.
Okay, Sophie. Hello Fresh or Goodbye Earl?
Hello Fresh.
Damn, that's good. Okay, Sophie. Scuba diving in the Galapagos or drunk driving to pick up your dominoes?
Drunk driving.
Okay, Sophie. I feel the rush or I hear the shush as I was talking too loudly in the library.
I feel the rush.
Okay. White guys for Harris or Big is moving to Paris?
Big is moving to Paris.
Wow. That was amazing. We rate our guests on a scale of 0 to 1,000 doves. And honestly, I know we've been getting flack because we've been being too kind to our guests.
Yes, we've been too kind to our guests in a sort of Harvard legacy admissions tape.
Give me a 0.
But I really think that was like a 980 doves.
Canadian doves.
So about 2 American doves.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
2 American doves.
Well, congratulations, Sophie. How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I want to commend you on something which I found to be really inspirational, which is your use of neither very freely. Like you did it once, and then you did it again.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a little flourish.
This is something I've noticed about you that you're really good at, is like going into a space and being like, this is my space. Like you don't like, you're not like trying to make yourself smaller. You are like, well, where are the cups? You're like,
I need a drink.
I will literally be like, I have to pee, but I will hold it for the next 2 hours because I'm like, I don't want to.
I'll do that. I'll hold my pee for years. But I do need to know what the spread is. I do need to walk around.
Yeah.
I don't feel, tied to many rules.
Yeah, it's really.
It's because I'm American now. I thought this was an American thing.
Well, it's not.
I mean, I do like.
I was completely flabbergasted. I was like, wow. I don't even know what to say from
That was the biggest thing I've noticed about Americans is they really hold space. They hold their own space.
Sophie, I have this is my premise for your semi-autobiographical sort of HBO's Girls type show. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a hard comedy. So you can sell it in this market.
Okay,
here's what it is. You're Canadian, you're moving to America. You've heard that Americans are really assertive and really like in your face. So you go like all the way in the other direction. You're being just like a huge bitch to everyone. Yeah. And you're just being this like cartoonishly
I'm slapping
bitchy.
Sandwiches out of people's hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you're basically trying to act like Miranda Priestly in The Devil Wears Prada, but you have like in the show an entry-level intern job at, a digital media company.
And then I immediately rise through the ranks and become CEO of the company.
Can it be called The American?
Yes.
Oh,
I love it. The way that I learned about American culture is from Miranda Priestly and what was that puppet, like America Fuck Yeah? What was that movie?
Oh, Team America World Police.
Team America World Police. Those were the only two movies I watched that were
And needless
American.
to say, you idolized George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. That was like,
of course,
those are your divas when you were younger. So you're
the girl
like,
bosses.
Okay, the girl bosses of America. And it's The American tagline, she's still figuring it out.
She's in a boot.
That's good.
And so, question for both of you.
Uh-huh.
George Bush, would or would not?
Sophie, this is so messed up.
This is actually really messed up because literally would.
Yeah.
Yes.
And duh. But like
without hesitation.
I used to do this.
I would hesitate a little bit, but I ultimately would.
I used to do this joke that this was years ago. I was much more in my alt era. Where I would just like list off a bunch of presidents' names to a lot of silence, and then be like, "That's the list of presidents that I would let rail me."
Wait, who was on the list?
I mean, it was literally like everyone. Like I
mean, a
realized,
president,
like,
very powerful.
the power,
Yeah.
is
Very
what it is.
powerful.
Your type is president.
Yeah,
No, you do want a president, and you
I
do
do.
deserve that.
Thank
And you
you.
do have that.
that's true.
Yeah.
The president of my household.
Yes, Misha.
Yeah, I feel like we've gone almost full circle with the politics of like jokingly saying you want to fuck evil people. Like, I think there was a point where that was suddenly, I think especially during the Trump era, it was like, don't say that. That's too real. You don't want to say like, I secretly want to fuck like Peter Thiel or something.
No, you can't. Well, people on Twitter will get mad.
Yeah.
They will get mad no matter what. But that's because
They'll get mad no matter what.
They're already mad. It's not that you made them mad. They're already mad.
Well,
Yeah.
So I had this experience where there was some this was years and years ago when Twitter was still relevant. There was some prompt tweet that was like, who is the most evil person you are attracted to? And I just like, this thought went into my head that Eric Prince, who's the director of Blackwater, the like mercenary military force that was used in the Iraq War.
Yeah.
I just have this memory of when I was young and watching the news, not knowing who he was and like walking into a room with a TV and being like, oh, he's hot.
Wait, can we pull him up? I need to see him.
Yeah, wait, I'll look on my phone. Eric Prince, you said?
Yeah.
Eric Prince.
Blackwater, hot.
Eric with a K.
Young.
Oh, with a K. Oh, interesting.
You see it.
I do see it. It's a military vibe. Oh.
Military vibe.
Oh.
He's, by the way, Betsy DeVos's brother.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. He's like, just to be clear, one of the most evil people who has ever existed in American history.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's
cute.
So
cute.
So I had this thought. I was like,
Just because he's evil doesn't make him less cute. Like,
I mean, we need to separate the art from the artist, but like separate the hot from the evil.
I'm just a girl.
But I was like, I remember seeing that tweet and I was like, oh my God, if I wanted to really get people angry, that's what I would respond. Obviously, I would never do that. And so I was like, haha, chuckle to myself, scroll down. A gay guy had already responded, Eric Prince.
Whoa.
Wait, and that's how you met your husband.
Yeah, that's how I met my husband.
Wow.
I was like,
wild.
we are so far gone. Like, we deserve Trump.
No, I mean, it's true.
Yes, America does deserve Trump.
Yeah. No, it's
derogatory.
really true.
Yeah.
It's so I'm so jealous of both of you and your roots outside of America because you get to be like ugh, America, and it's like
No, it feels so good. It feels so good.
Like, it
does feel
so
great.
George,
good.
what are your roots outside of America?
I grew up mostly in Greece, but I did have, just to be candid with everyone, because I've been accused of Greek face in the past. I did have a 6-year period where I lived in America, but I mostly grew up in Greece.
I would never accuse you of Greek face.
Thank you.
I will accuse you of that when I need to.
I definitely I'm sort of the king of having it both ways when it comes to like pretending I'm an immigrant. Like I can, when it's convenient for me, I'm like, America's so random. Like I'm foreign. I don't know how you guys do all this. And then when I'm in Greece, I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing to be in a small country. Like,
No, same. Like as soon as I moved to America, I was very much like, you guys don't have healthcare? Like, it's a human right. And then I go back to Canada and I'm like, 1,000 Canadian dollars for a weekend at a comedy club? Like, this is not a real country. Like, I'm not coming here anymore.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's tough. I'm always surprised when I do feel like patriotic or something. Like I remember I went to Japan once and I was like, okay, can people get buck wild yet? Like,
what is this, Los Angeles?
literally.
No, but the thing is, like, and this is maybe one of my straight things, but there are some things about America that are cool.
Please, I think a lot of
what
our
are
American
they?
listeners would.
So
Other than, of
humiliating.
course, the Republican Party, which
No, of
we know
course.
you love.
Right. I mean, George Bush is hot. That's not my fault. No, but I feel like that, like, nobody believes in the American dream more than like an immigrant,
Of course.
Even an immigrant like me. Like, I did move here to make more money in my passion and my career, and then I did immediately do that.
Wow.
Guess what? No one believes in the American dream more than, write this down, a white immigrant. Like, literally, I know this from my parents. I know this from myself. Like,
Yes.
the best position to be in America is to be a white immigrant.
That is so
you come
true.
here and you can just sort of be like, oh, fun.
Oh, it's
like,
easy. Oh, it's
I'm
easy.
one of you now.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I know. I say to every single Canadian comedian, I'm like, just move to America. You get so much more money. So insulting.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, do you specifically tell them to move to LA or just America?
No, because I'm not trying to hang out with everybody. I just think everyone should move here and have more money. I mean,
course.
spread the wealth.
Wow. Well, I love that.
Yeah, what things make you feel patriotic? This is a good question. I was recently listening to Sam and I listened to the Slate Culture Gab Fest. I don't know if you're familiar, but it is a podcast for Gen X women.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Sam and I listened to it, and one of the hosts was saying that he took a road trip in California and that made him feel patriotic. He was like, wow, like this incredible topography.
Mm-hmm. And so what makes you feel patriotic? Because it's like, for me, patriotic, like about Canada?
No, about America.
I don't think I can feel
Your chosen
patriotic.
home.
I don't think I can feel patriotic about a country I'm not from.
Well, immigration's listening and they want to know.
Well,
Yeah. Podcasting.
I love the people at immigration. I think that they're super cool with their questions
Okay.
and their stamps.
Yeah, great stamps. There is something about, I'm starting to get part of what I've struggled with LA and California in general is I haven't understood the myth. Like in New York, it was very easy. It was like, it's 1979, CBGB's Lower East Side.
Yeah.
And I was always like, yes, like everything I do is like in conversation with, and here I'm like Faye Dunaway. Like I'm like, that doesn't really.
Sam, we need to. I'm literally. I'm prescribing you as your doctor a dose of Joan Didion.
So that's, I'm starting to get it more, where like it is like the part that's speaking to me is like the natural beauty, the sort of being like the flowing pant. I'm starting to be like, oh, it's about like reflection. And
I don't know. That sounds. I mean, if that's fun for you, that's great. But I don't know. The thing is, I think it's almost impossible to come from New York and just enjoy it here because there's so much in New York. There's so much to do. There's so many people to see. There's just action. There's constant action. And then you come here and it's so slow. You're like a loose pant. Like, it's like, is it a retirement home? Like, it's like, it is so hard to like fill your needs in LA. Like, you do have to like adjust where you get that action. Yeah. And so that's why I'm like doing this full-time job and then also doing stand-up every night and doing the road every night and you have to be very active about
the alternative is ketamine.
Yeah.
No, that's true. It's like I'm listening to Joni Mitchell. I always love
Joni
her,
Mitchell,
but I'm hearing it differently now that I'm in Cali.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
Now you get it.
It hits different.
Yeah.
Wait, speaking of California and patriotism, did you guys watch the like part of the Paris closing ceremony where they handed it off to LA?
No.
Okay, so they did this entire thing where the premise of this video is that they give the flame to Tom Cruise, who did like a live stunt in Paris. And then it sort of cuts to him like getting on a helicopter, then flying all the way to LA, then getting to LA, then handing it whatever. And it all ends in a live concert in like Long Beach, where it's Red Hot Chili Peppers singing one of their California-based hits. And I was like, okay, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers with their like, it was literally, what's that Charlie lyric? Like, bad tattoos on the tan skin. That was like me about Anthony Kiedis being like, wow, this does make me feel proud to be an American. Like, this, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers are, to me, I'm patriotic about the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I actually do really like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. When I first started dating my boyfriend, he was like, what's your favorite band? And I was like, Red Hot Chili Peppers. And that's not true. But like, if I'm asked something, it's like, what's your favorite? I just say the first thing that comes to mind. And then my problem is I have like an attentive boyfriend. And so I'll say something like that. And then he'll like get me Red Hot Chili Peppers tickets or something. And I'm like, I don't want to go to that.
I find an attentive boyfriend is a funny thing. I also have an attentive boyfriend.
Yeah.
And like,
you can't say anything anymore.
Literally can't say anything because I'll run with it. Like I had to learn to censor myself. Like he would be like, what do you want to do today? And I'd be like, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to go for a run. I want to like make breakfast. I want to, and it's like, no, I'm just saying stuff.
No, and then later they're like, when are you going to go for your run? And you're like, why are you attacking me?
I'm like, that was just something I said in the moment because I was feeling that in the moment.
He said it's like my boyfriend told me it's like really hard to hang out with me and my mom because we both do that. We'll both be like laying in my bed being like, oh my God, we should go for a hike today. And then Mace is like brushing his teeth, putting on his shoes, and neither of us have moved. And then my mom's like, what is he doing? And I'm like, I don't know.
Attentive boyfriend is like the Daily Mail being like, Sam's past comments have resurfaced. Like every like half hour of every day.
I know. It's like, leave the past in the past.
It's just like, yeah, you ask me what I want to do, not what I'm going to do.
No.
It's literally woke culture. It's like you can't say anything.
You can't say anything.
It will resurface.
No. And we both speak in hyperbole all day long.
Needless to say.
Yes.
No, the way that I that's actually where I like empathize the most with politicians, where it'll be like, where people will be like, well, 10 years ago you said this. And it's like, so?
No, I always, when people bring up something they wrote in their college newspaper, I'm like, college newspaper? I'm like I don't even believe what I said last week.
Yeah, it's so messed up.
No, I do really feel for politicians also in that way. No, because it's like they voted on so many things and then they're like, okay, but you voted this on this. And they're like, that was a long day. I did a lot of things that day.
Yeah.
It's like, that might have not even been a big statement.
Right.
They're like, someone paid me to do that. Like, what do you want from me?
I don't believe that. Or it's like, maybe
I don't believe
it. To get like a good relationship with this guy. Like,
I was trying to get more money. That's not my
like
belief.
If I hadn't done that, I wouldn't even be running for president. So like, count your blessings, sweetheart.
You're being weird. Like,
no, I actually, when people are like, try to use that as proof as to why they're like an evil politician. Like they voted on this in 1982. I'm sort of like, yeah, okay.
It was a different time.
Like
they were
okay, but I will say the one
day.
exception, but then I'm such a purist when it comes to voting for the Iraq War, where I'm like, if someone did vote for the Iraq War, I'm like, oh, so you're a complete phony.
No, that's true. It is nice to have sometimes as a trump card, if you will.
Yes.
It sucks that that's his name because it's like I'm not trying to. We're talking about politics. I'm not trying to reference Trump, but that's what the card's called.
It literally is crazy.
What the card is called.
It's just what that card is called.
No, your hands are tied. That's not your fault.
The fact that on top of everything else, his name just like is inherently iconic is so unfair.
No, it's unfair.
He's been given
and
everything.
He's good at like branding stuff. Like he's like when he got shot and then he did like the fist up or whatever. Like he knows how to get a photo op. He's very. Do you guys follow Coco Moco?
He is literally our number one creative director.
Yeah, there's this girl Coco Moco that I follow on TikTok that's just gives like branding advice and like that kind of thing. And every piece of advice she gives, like Trump just like does naturally. And I'm kind of like, does he follow Coco Moco as well?
Wow, I wish.
Yeah. It's just like hard to brand. Like it's like a hard thing to do. Like we're all comics. Like it's hard to like.
No, I'm literally horrible at it.
Well, it's hard to do. The second it becomes a task you have to do, it's over. Like it has to be innate. Like with Trump, he lives and breathes branding. Like he was born and was like, I'm trademarking this, me being born.
No, he should just be in marketing.
He should literally be in marketing.
Yeah.
If he was LGBTQ+, he would be.
Oh, so true.
If only.
So unfair.
Actually, politics is basically all marketing.
Oh my God. Smart alert.
Is there like a thing we can press?
Yeah,
Smart
there's
alert.
Wait, I do want to get into the topic because I actually am very interested in this topic. Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we shall. Sophie, what is the straight topic you have brought today? And what is straight about it?
So today I have brought in Christopher Nolan. Come on in, Chris. To me, what's straight about Christopher Nolan is that he empowers straight men to think they're smart.
Yeah. In a huge, huge way.
By just enjoying a film. Like a straight man will enjoy a Christopher Nolan film and then we'll be like, am I a scientist?
Totally.
Yeah. And can I ask, how do you feel about his films?
I love them.
Yeah. And by the way,
I think they're great. I think he picks like unique subject matter.
Yes.
I think that he takes risks.
Yes.
Love them. But I don't watch a blockbuster hit movie and then walk away thinking I'm smarter.
He makes big hit movies and that are dressed as vegetables.
Yes, they're dressed as vegetables. Oh my God, genius.
I feel so torn on him because he's someone that I should dislike. Like for branding purposes.
Yes.
I don't want to like Christopher Nolan.
No.
And yet, whenever I see his movies, I'm like, love that.
Love that. I think he's just a great filmmaker. But I have the same problem with. It's not unique to him. It's also any documentary. I do feel like a straight man will watch a documentary and then will want to talk to you afterwards like he made the documentary.
Yeah.
Like he'll be like, oh, you haven't heard about this? And you're like, you watched a movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's like with any of these things that become, it's like what alt rock was like. It's like certain, it's like how people always use like Infinite Jest as a punchline. It's like, I have not read Infinite Jest, but I'm sure if I did, I would probably love it. But it just is the culture around it.
I know.
That,
it's like if Christopher Nolan made Infinite Jest into a movie.
Yes.
We would love it.
Oh, I would love that.
Yes.
There's also something that I respect about a straight man living out loud, where like in Oppenheimer, when like the women characters were like so two-dimensional in this way that was like, they were like flat.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what? That's very honest.
Love.
No, he's not pretending. Yeah.
I was like, that's good.
Yeah. No, I think so too, because it's like you can tell a lot about him. He's not trying to imply that he thinks women are people.
Yeah.
It's just authenticity is good no matter what.
No,
that's sort of why I love George Bush so much.
Oh my God, living out loud. Talk about living out loud.
That is an honest guy.
Okay, wait. I love the smarter thing. I also think there's something about his movies that they're set up that way. They're always a puzzle.
Yeah, there's like a thing, like, obviously there's like hero's journey for like writing a movie. There's also like the Nolan time jump, and it's like a line, and it exactly shows exactly how he does the time jumps in every single movie. Like it is a formula.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's not like he's reinventing the wheel every time he makes a movie. He plays a lot with time jumps, which is fun to watch. And it's a little bit outside of what we're used to seeing with the hero's journey. And so it's entertaining. And he picks stuff that a lot of other people wouldn't have, like, I think, like the grace to be allowed to, like just like within the industry. Like I feel like he's allowed to take kind of bigger chances than like maybe a newer filmmaker or whatever, and he's got big
100%.
budgets. But he uses it.
He has fun with it.
Yeah.
That is a big part of it. Like, he's this sort of like last man left. Like, so many of these directors that were buzzy in the late 90s through the 2000s either crashed and burned or like had one flop and then were put in director jail, or like ended up only doing Marvel movies, or went all the way in the other direction and are doing art films. Like, somehow he has pulled off, still to this day, his movies are hits, both critically and except for Tenet, and commercially.
The thing is, Tenet was confusing. Like, even, like, it's not like I'm dumb. It's like that movie was confusing.
Well, sometimes, if I have a complaint about him, it's that sometimes his movies just don't make sense and he sells it as if it's intellectual.
Exactly. I have a friend who's like dresses really cool and everybody thinks it's really hot. And sometimes we'll say something that will make people be like, oh my God, I'm so uncool. I didn't get what he said, blah, blah, blah. And then I have to like always take them aside later and be like, no, doesn't know what he's saying. He's not saying anything. And because he's cool, you're like, oh, I just don't get something.
Yeah. That's where it gets really complicated. Because, oh wait, what's the one where they go in the dreams? Inception. That movie is like, I was so angry for a full year after that movie came out because everyone was talking about it constantly and I hated it so much.
Why did you hate Inception?
I thought this movie.
You sound so hurt.
No, I mean, don't even care about Inception, but why did you hate it? Just because everyone was talking about it?
Well, I just didn't think it was very good, and I felt like the twists and turns, I was like, these just are nonsensical but cool.
Was that his first big hit?
No, that was like pretty late into. Hold on, I'm gonna look up.
Did he do The Dark Knight before that?
Yeah. Or wait, is that wrong?
I have no idea.
I mean, we're not
Chris
straight
Nolan
men.
filmography.
Why would we know the filmography order?
I don't even see time in a linear way.
Well, you're much like Christopher Nolan in that way.
Christopher Nolan.
Oh my God, we should take something from the end of the podcast and put it right at the beginning of the podcast. And then when people get to this part, they'll know that we're doing the Christopher Nolan time jump.
That'll be cool.
Okay, I'm going to this is for everyone's sake. I'm literally going to do a reading. Okay, ready?
Please.
Yeah.
Memento, Insomnia, Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, Oppenheimer.
Wow. What a run.
Wow, he's amazing. We all walk away like Christopher Nolan is actually so deep.
Well, and George and I actually have personal experience with him.
Yes, we both have seen him in the wild.
I was at brunch and, there were maybe 4 people at the restaurant, one of which was Christopher Nolan. And
That's pretty cool. That's a good spot.
it was
I sort of
good
love
spot.
that he's secure enough in his masculinity to have brunch.
Well, he was wearing his blazer. He was wearing his signature
Oh.
blazer sitting outside, and it was hot as fuck, by the way.
Yeah. And then I, of course, saw him at the Regal Essex Crossing Theater, and my friend Bobby asked him what was he seeing, and he was seeing Skinamarink.
Oh,
Is he British?
Yes.
great
Very
question.
much so.
Great question.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know that I would know him on sight. I don't know that I would recognize him.
I recognized him quick, and I was really surprised at my emotional state.
Response.
I was really like so wowed. I was like texting I haven't been like starstruck in a way. I was literally like texting people like, you wouldn't believe who's sitting right behind me right now.
Well, I mean, that is one really fun thing about LA that I'm sure it happens in New York too, but I do feel like I get a lot of celebrity sightings in LA.
Yeah, it's definitely more here in a fun way.
Yeah.
He also, he's a handsome guy. A lot of directors can almost have like a mousiness to them. They like being behind the camera. They're maybe a little awkward. He's confident, sexy, confident. He's confident.
And so intelligent.
And he's so intelligent.
You think that
some would
song
argue
is
he's
about-
heaven sent.
Also, his thing with women characters is interesting because, in fact, he famously has been married for a very long time to his wife, and she produces all his movies, and she is actually a huge girl boss in that sense.
Do you think that...
It sounds like has no personality.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I know women. They have nothing about them.
Yeah, they are just obsessed with me.
Yeah, they're
obsessed with me, yeah.
they make my movies because they're fans.
He's like their attentive girlfriends. They listen to what I'm saying and then they call locations. Yeah. I mean,
And so what do you love him from? You were excited you saw him. What's the movie that is there
That's
a
a
movie
great-
that you really connect with?
well, I loved Oppenheimer, but I loved The Dark Knight.
What did you love about Oppenheimer?
I think what did I love about Oppenheimer? I think it did give me the straight guy feeling of it made me feel smart. It gave me like the 100%. Sense of realization.
You're learning history.
I'm learning history, and like it's more than like learning the facts, where it's like I'm emotionally learning history.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, like that's weird. Like,
yeah, no, but I feel that with like a good historical movie, when I feel like tied to the characters, I feel like I'm much more interested in that like history lesson. Same thing about sports movies. Like sometimes a good sports movie will make me be like, oh my God, I love sports because I'm finding out the ins and outs of this guy's relationship with his father and what like I want the drama of it. I don't really care about their actual thing that they're doing.
Here's I'm about to put forth a really tenuous point. Okay, so get ready. I almost think sometimes the Nolan male protagonist is actually like woman coded. It's like Oppenheimer himself is like this, like Cillian Murphy isn't like a strong, manly man that's like even like something like A Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe is much more masculine. Like Cillian Murphy.
And so you're saying because Cillian Murphy doesn't have muscles, he's a woman.
Yeah, basically that's exactly what I'm saying.
Love.
And or like in Memento, it's like the guy can't even remember anything.
Oh my God, hysterical.
It's always some weak guy.
He's hysterical. The Dark Knight, he's on his period.
He's on his period. Yeah, like Inception, it's like he's sleepy. Okay.
No,
like,
bars. You actually killed it. You actually nailed this. Yeah. And then the female characters, those are the men because we don't know about them.
By the way, Dunkirk, a bunch of twinks. That's not what soldiers look like.
No, that's not what soldiers look like.
They're all Harry Styles?
No, I didn't see
Harry
Dunkirk
Styles is literally
You didn't
all...
see Dunkirk?
No.
Oh, we're so aligned.
Oh, I saw Dunkirk in theaters with my mom, and she was like, all these boys are like my gay son George. They're all twinks. So that's sort of my...
your big theory.
Basically Nolan men are women.
Well,
he's
so
British.
He doesn't need to write good women characters because the men are women. Maybe because he's British.
I think the British people have a different sense of gender.
Well, that's definitely true.
That's definitely true. No doubt about it.
Do you like the theory that people on the internet have talked about, where it's like every male lead is like dressed to look like Christopher Nolan?
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, kind of like Woody Allen, like how he always has like a character that's him.
It's like it kind of makes me like him more because it's like, oh, you're a little diva. Like,
oh yeah, why do they have to dress just like you?
And like have his like weird haircut. Like they really are.
Wait, that's so true.
It's very fun.
But maybe he also only picks subjects that remind him of him.
He's like Robert Pattinson. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Pattinson.
Which is so girl. So girl to do that.
And
to
who
see
will play
a celebrity
me?
and be like, that's...
Well, he's literally Team Edward. He's like, I'm Team Edward.
Oh, God.
He is kind of a chica.
Oh, they're his little playthings.
I mean, he's literally at brunch.
He's literally at brunch being like, who will Robert Pattinson kiss next?
When Channing Tatum becomes a little bit older, like a little bit more like rugged, I guarantee Channing Tatum will be the lead in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Totally. Also, by the way, choosing Emily Blunt as the wife, that's gay. Like, if you were straight...
so gay.
You would be choosing Emily Ratajkowski.
Exactly.
Like Emily Blunt, that's a gay guy that cares about actresses, and he's like, let's
Emily
put
Blunt
her in that role.
is girl pretty. Like, I don't know if you know about this, like, boy pretty, girl pretty, but
that's the female gaze, yeah?
No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like that's somebody that a woman would be like, she is so beautiful, and then a straight man was just...
Christopher, write this down. Christopher Nolan has a female gaze.
No, we always talk horseshoe theory. We always get into horseshoe theory, and this is the most horseshoe theory we've
It's the
ever
most
done.
horseshoe theory. Is literally Christopher Nolan, who famously straight men love, is actually a feminist, like
Director.
Chantal Akerman level feminist filmmaker that is writing about the women experience, the female experience via a series of men.
Which is so genius to get men to pay attention, straight men.
And they're listening and they're learning. Wow. And I do want to say you had a backup topic that I just do want to address.
I can come back.
No, that's true. So should we not address it?
I think bring it up. When you guys asked me to do this, I was like, I can't stop thinking of straight stuff I love. So I have so many things.
So your other topic was potentially Adam Sandler.
Yes, the other great filmmaker of our time.
I would say Adam Sandler similarly is sort of the comedy version of Chris Nolan. His movies are also about the female experience. It's always about like not fitting in, not measuring up, like, you know, of course, in Jack and Jill, he literalizes it by playing the female character himself, which was
I
really
did
radical
not see
for the
Jack and
time.
Jill.
I didn't see Jack
Well,
and
not
Jill.
many people did. But I think, again, like Uncut Gems, that's a female character.
He loves jewelry.
Literally.
And Julia Fox.
And he's irresponsible with money.
Also, by the way, sorry, Idina Menzel is his wife. What does he love, Wicked? Give me a break.
Also, and I would say this probably to my boyfriend, and he would turn it into such a thing. So let me just talk. But Spanglish is my favorite movie.
Sophie, you do not understand how close to you I feel right now. I have not watched Spanglish as an adult, but when I was a kid and I watched it, it was one of the first, you know, when you watch a movie that you're like, this is for adults. Yes.
Yes.
This is for adults. And
I get it.
Yes. And I was like, this is so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And okay, I have to tell you something, and I'm sorry to I'm about to do a little name dropping, and I apologize. Is everyone ready for my name dropping?
Drop that name.
Sarah Steele, who plays the daughter, lives in my neighborhood, and I see her around. And I've met her a few times. And I know that the last thing she wants to hear is that I loved her in Spanglish because she has done so much amazing work since. But every time I see her, I'm like, that was one of the best child performances I've ever seen in my life.
I think Spanglish is the most powerful film I have ever seen. And my boyfriend can hold me to. I actually do feel like that's real. And like the love between like the mother and daughter and like, it's literally, have you seen Spanglish?
No, I've never seen Spanglish. I
weep. Like I watched it as a kid, loved it, was like moved by it. And then I was like, saw it on like Netflix like maybe a year or two ago. And I was like, oh, whatever, I'll watch Spanglish.
It holds up.
Like fun. I watched it. I cried the whole time. I was like, I had to like cancel something. I was like, I'm a wreck right now. This is the best movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
You know what? There's all these things that are sort of archetypes that I actually saw there for the first time. Like Téa Leoni plays a classic like jogging mom.
Yes.
Which
Almond
it's like mom.
Almond mom.
Yes, almond mom. You know, she's wearing like all spandex, and she clearly like wants to be keeping it together, which is such an archetype in many movies. But I feel like that was the first time I saw it portrayed like that on screen.
Well, it's also so raw. Like she buys her daughter, who's like very average weight. Like she buys her daughter one size too small of a bunch of clothing, and then she's trying it on, and then she's like, this doesn't fit. Like puts it all, she's like, none of this fits. And then the mom is like, yeah, but you're gonna get there and you're gonna hit that weight. Like a growing girl buying her thing that's a little bit too small. Like it's such an amazing thing. And then the Mexican mom stays up all night, opens the stitches and makes everything a little bit bigger. And then she comes in and she learns, the first English she learns is to say, try it on. And so she comes in with the thing and she's like, try it on. And the girl's like, no, I tried it on yesterday. It doesn't fit. Like still so like raw from the mom. And then she's like, try it on. And she puts it all on. And then she's like so confused. And it's just like such an insane, like who wrote Spanglish? Like I can't even describe like how good this movie is. Spanglish does to me what Christopher Nolan movies do to straight men. I watch Spanglish and I'm like, I understand feeling. I understand human emotion.
This is to take like
motherhood. I understand motherhood. That's the only movie that makes me understand motherhood.
Oh my God, wait. Did you know it's James L. Brooks?
I'm like, please provide context so we can pretend we know who that is.
No, he did, like,
James made it.
James.
Like
Shout out to
broadcast
James.
news, Terms of Endearment, As Good as It Gets.
Sure.
Like these classics
I
sort
haven't
of
seen
like
any of those movies. Is that crazy?
Sophie,
Is that
you haven't
crazy?
seen As Good as It Gets?
No.
You have to see As Good as It Gets. I mean, that is like classic.
Better than Spanglish?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and say yes.
Wait, which one's As Good as It Gets?
That's like Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt. Like that was a huge sexual awakening for me because Greg Kinnear plays a gay guy and you see his butt. And I was like, that's for me.
What is this guy, Real Black Rock or something? Because I am hard.
Oh.
Damn.
Well,
wow. Shout out to Spanglish.
Huge shout out to Spanglish. I had no idea.
I couldn't do a bigger shout out.
I mean, to take minutes to describe a plot point of a movie.
A short scene. A short scene lasts
That we have no
3 minute maybe.
But sorry,
scene.
but literally what you just described, that is such significant character work for 3 different characters, for mom, for the woman working for them, and for the daughter. And just that little thing.
Sam's yawning right now. A big yawn.
I mean, that's like-
a big yawn.
You
like
can't-
a cat.
You could pay NYU, you could go to get 15 BFAs at NYU, you wouldn't learn how to do that.
I like screaming, "Who wrote this?" As if it's not easily Googleable.
I have no way to find out who's going to Google it.
I love that.
So, okay, Chris Nolan, any other thoughts?
Well, the one thing that makes me not trust him is the suit. Like, always wearing the suit.
But I think that's just
really?
British.
Is that just
I
British?
like that. That to me, I'm like, you're actually serious about this, unlike some of these other directors who are absolutely yanking our chains left and right.
Well,
like I that's why I trust him, and that's why it's such a betrayal when a movie like Tenet makes no sense, because I'm like, you are wearing a suit. Please be serious. I trusted you.
I do think that it's British because my grandpa's British and he always wore like a wool jacket in the summer. And you're kind of like, okay.
Damn, you're so
I sort of think
international.
I think all directors should wear suits, especially women, by the way.
I mean, can women direct movies in this country?
I don't know
Wow.
if they're allowed. I kind of like when directors like dress badly.
Oh,
like,
I see. You're sort of like
I like when it's like, did you know that was a director? He was dressed so shitty.
Yeah, I do like seeing pictures of like Sophia Coppola on the Marie Antoinette thing when
Yeah.
she's just got a sloppy t-shirt on, mustard stain. I'm sure she doesn't have a mustard stain.
I mean,
but,
at
like, I do
any
like that
given
energy.
time, approximately 70% of the photographs on the internet are just Sophia Coppola behind the scenes of Marie Antoinette.
Literally, I can't open my phone without
At this
seeing
point,
that.
I think they're unearthing new ones left and right. It's actually insane.
They're using AI to make
They're
more.
using AI.
I'm sure of it.
They're using AI because
Yeah.
at some point you would run out.
I recently opened my phone and the first thing I saw was someone had posted the Britney Paris, who's the third one, Lindsay photo, Bimbo Summit. And I was like, you know what? I think that's enough. We have seen this photograph enough times.
I'm
Put
having,
it to
have
rest.
to move
Put it
on.
to rest.
no,
Yeah.
I'm having a weird realization. Like stuff like that it's past. Like even Y2K remembering has passed.
No, it's Pa.
Yeah.
And it's weird because now I'm like, so we're in uncharted waters again.
What's
No,
next?
it's about to be, and it's already happening. It
Grunge?
happened with indie
Grunge?
sleaze and all that stuff. Like, people are going to be like, remember Santa Gold?
No, like early 2000s.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be it's gonna be American Apparel. Like,
Yeah, it already is.
American Apparel
Yeah.
is back.
well, that's true. And he did nothing wrong. And I think everyone's being too weird. Everyone's being sensitive. Just let him design his clothes.
So early 2000s,
It'll be like
hideous-
2010.
2010.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like Coachella.
Ew. Oh no.
But also this goes back, it's like, it's like people rewatching, I mean, I guess Sex and the City is 90s, but people rewatching Gossip Girl, for instance.
I never watched Gossip Girl, which is
Me either.
crazy.
It's so up my alley and I never watched it.
I know, and I actually think that that's a good test for does free will exist? Because in every scenario, algorithm-wise, that's built into us, we would have seen Gossip Girl by now. And because we haven't, free will's real.
That's such a beautiful...
That's so Christopher Nolan of me.
That is so Christopher Nolan. I was going to say, maybe you actually have seen Gossip Girl, but it's in the timeline that you went right past you and you don't know. But a different version of yourself is like a Gossip Girl recap
Freak,
podcaster.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
What would... God, I was about to ask a question that is very unfair because it's difficult to figure out on the spot, but I'm like...
He loves to do that.
What-
He loves to
I'll
do that.
answer definitively with no
Yeah,
hesitation.
Try it.
I want us all collaboratively to come up with a Christopher Nolan premise. You know what I mean? Like a Christopher Nolan
Okay, so
movie
it's
premise.
memories are rooms in your house.
Yes, exactly. Memories are rooms in your house, and this family that is middle class but just barely is doing a big remodel.
Yes. Yes.
And when the different rooms are being messed with, that is literally messing with their internal memories. And guess what? Okay, sorry, I know I'm answering my own question, actually taking up quite a bit of space, but I think that one of the characters will realize that that's what's happening and be rushing home to tell the wife character, who so far has not spoken, please do not, don't destroy the kitchen. But the wife doesn't have her phone on her. So as he's going, the kitchen is being destroyed by the tractor, and he's slowly disappearing as he's running to the home.
Yeah.
And her memory of him is gone. And she has no idea. So she's walking to this beautiful kitchen, and she's like, "This is such a beautiful kitchen," and I no longer remember my.
And she's played by Emily Blunt.
And and it's all actually it's not a love letter, but it's like a metaphor for how his wife remodeled the kitchen and he doesn't like it.
Yes, exactly.
Without asking him what finishes he would like for it.
And he actually really liked the design they had before.
No, and they had brushed brass. That was really unique, and it really worked with the space.
It's yes, it's not as trendy anymore, but that doesn't mean we have to throw it
classic.
away.
It was classic.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's sort of his it's a metaphor for how this bland new modern aesthetic is
erasing people's personalities.
Erasing the past. Yes, it's erasing the past in a literal way. It's
and we zoom out near the end of the movie to find out that all of the houses in that neighborhood are looking exactly the same.
Exactly. It's like little boxes on the hillside. Mm-hmm. To quote the Weeds theme song.
Which you do every episode.
Yes, of course. This is a segment where I quote the Weeds theme song.
Damn.
But speaking of Weeds, Mary Louise Parker would be a great woman in a Christopher Nolan movie. Classic gay guy actress.
Yeah. I've never seen Weeds either.
Me neither.
Oh, you would
I love that. I love when we connect.
We haven't seen anything.
Honestly, so often
all
on
we've
this
seen is Inception.
and hated it. So much of this podcast is George being like, well, from this movie. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have to make the decision. You have to choose.
Do I come forward with it?
Do I
come forward with my truth?
Well, and usually I'll just see if the guests will talk enough and then let it roll past.
The problem is that we've seen all the same things.
I know. It makes it complicated.
Darn.
You know what? I've never seen Memento.
Me neither.
We should do a movie night. When I'm in town, we're doing movie night.
We're watching Memento.
I'll be there.
Perfect.
Because I've always been that sounds like exactly the kind of movie I would love.
I know.
He doesn't have his memory, and then his tattoos remind him of things. That's so fun.
That's so Silver Lake.
Yeah, it's so Silver
Lake. Yeah, I would.
And then because of that, he always has to be shirtless.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, I have the disease where I have to be shirtless.
Yeah. And also, by the way,
what?
And guess what? Carrie-Anne Moss, gay guy actress, once again, he didn't choose the hot model of that era.
Okay, I have a legitimate question. I'm not trying to what's the word? I'm not trying to fight. Who is not a gay guy actress?
No, and that's
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is not a gay guy.
Straight guy actress.
No, that's true. Okay. Done.
Okay, wait. No, this is a really good prompt, Sam. Scarlett Johansson, Jessica Alba.
Yeah. Just zero cuntiness, but maximum hotness, traditional.
Yeah.
Blake Lively?
Yes.
Yeah. I know it's because they're married, but she and Ryan Reynolds are the exact
hetero.
Yeah. They actually freak me out.
I hate them as a couple.
I'm like, you should.
And Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know what's so crazy? All of that, you're like, okay, I get him. He's this guy. He's Ryan Reynolds. What if I told you he dated Alanis Morissette?
What?
Oh, yeah.
What? Canadian?
Did you not know this as a Canadian?
Oh.
No, I didn't know that, but Alanis Morissette lived in my grandma's neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway, people will surprise you is what I'm saying.
Well, I think they should get back together.
Same.
Make it work. You guys can make it work.
Seriously. And Blake Lively should date someone. Cillian Murphy.
Oh God, I would not wish that on poor Cillian after his big win to have to date Blake Lively.
Should we do our final segment?
Sure. Oh my God, is it that time?
I guess I'm wrong.
Wait, question.
Yeah, please.
Is this woman a straight man's actor? Rachel McAdams.
Okay, so this is actually really interesting.
Complex.
Yeah. I'm really sitting with this.
I think no.
Rachel McAdams could. Wait, you think no what?
I think she's a gay guy actor.
I agree. I completely agree. I actually think
Mean Girls?
I think Mean Girls, and that era when she was like Mean Girls and The Notebook.
Same time, yeah.
And it was like, she displayed a chameleon-like quality.
I think Regina George is like, to play Regina George, you have to be cunty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to then be like the sweet love interest, like in the same year, I was like, she's
being fake.
I was like, so what you're telling me is you're a fucking liar.
Manipulative.
Yeah.
She also is like hot enough that she could have become straight guy actress.
Well, that's why I was kind of weighing it, because I'm kind of like, she could be romantic lead that a guy, because it's like, I know my boyfriend is like, oh, Rachel McAdams is so sweet, and that's what he says when he thinks somebody's hot, and so I'm kind of like, oh, maybe.
So I saw Rachel McAdams on stage this year, and she played the mother of a like baby with a terminal illness, and at that point, that's when I said, you are being cunty. This is not for the straight male gaze right now. No straight man wants to see a woman like rushing to the hospital because her infant has a terminal disease. You're doing this for the gays.
100%.
Oh, and they're gagging for it.
Yeah, no, she's so mother.
She was mother.
So mother, literally.
Rushing
to that dying child.
She is so mother to that dying child.
Wow. She also, it's so funny the way that I'm like, well, and she's an underdog. And it's like, she's not at all. Like, she's one of the most successful actors we have. And I'm like, but she's an underdog.
If you feel like she's an underdog, then she's doing everything right.
Yeah, that's really the key.
By the way, this is my final point about Chris Nolan picking gay guy actresses. He cast Anne Hathaway when she was at her lowest in terms of everyone making fun of her for being a theater girl.
No, you're right. That's so true.
To be like, we're going to take literally the butt of everyone's jokes. We're going to make you Catwoman, bitch.
Oh, and she delivered.
And she ate.
She ate. It was, I remember being like, damn, that Anne Hathaway has really got it.
Yes.
I never turned on her. Look at my voting record. Look at my voting record.
We have here in 1982.
You voted for the Iraq War, but also for Anne Hathaway.
Wait, that's the soundbite. Put that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Let's do our final seg.
Okay.
Oh, well, am I rushing?
I mean, listen, if you want to end the episode, we can end the episode.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like really hot in here.
We should do
was going to make a reference. I'm so Christopher Nolan right now because I'm sweating in my blazer.
Well, I have to say, Sophie, I kept being like, well, she'll bring it up. I don't want to say anything because you kept talking about blazer.
It's not wool, but it is hot in this room.
Well, but you just, there was so much conversation about blazer and it was never addressed that you are in a blazer.
I forgot that I had this on, to be honest with you. Right. I look outwards.
It's tough when there's no mirror.
Yeah.
Well, you're sort of like Christopher Nolan in that way. Your eye's the camera. You're not.
Exactly. It's an unreliable narrator.
Mm-hmm.
Even the fact that I should have brought it up. I can't believe. I mean,
we're still rolling.
It is summer in LA and you're wearing a blazer.
I mean, I went from my air-conditioned home to air-conditioned car to what I thought was going to be an air-conditioned room.
Damn. No, you got us.
Not going for a hike after this.
That's true. No, that's true.
All right, Sam. Let's do the final segment.
Our final segment is called Shoutouts, and in this segment we pay homage to the grand street tradition of the radio shoutout, shouting out anything that you enjoy, people, places, things, ideas. Imagine it's 2001, you're at TRL shouting out to your squad back home, but about anything that you like. We will go first, and we always make them up on the spot and do not prepare.
Great.
Yeah, we don't prepare.
Perfect.
I can do one.
Please.
Do we go one at a time? Like we just keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, love.
Okay. What's up, freaks and geeks out there? Welcome to season 5 of StraightioLab. I want to give a shout out to Rescue Spa in the island of Manhattan, New York. I received a gift. I repeat, a gift for a facial. I've never done a facial in my entire life. I always considered it something for potentially a Taya Leone type to do in the film Spanglish. I said, that's not for me. I'm a rustic gay guy. You know, maybe I'll go on a little walk. Maybe I'll have brunch, but I can't afford a facial. How much does that cost? $1,000? Who knows? Finally, I received a gift certificate for one. I went in. I had my doubts, but when I tell you I just succumbed to it, I surrendered to it, and the products that went on my face probably cost a total of $200,000. I'm not really sure because I couldn't read the woman's handwriting at the end, but it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. It happened over 24 hours ago, and I have not washed my face since because I still am feeling the product on my face, and it makes me feel wealthy. It makes me feel healthy. It makes me feel moisturized. The moisture is packed in there, folks.
It makes you want to buy your daughter a too small jacket.
Exactly. No, I'm ready to body shame some teenagers. So, I have no idea how much it costs because, again, I did not pay for it. But if you have the means, please go to Rescue Spa.
If you are so privileged.
Yes. If you are so privileged, get a facial and, I was about to say ask for so-and-so, but I didn't get the woman's name, so I'm sure they're all good.
Wow. Woo. That's huge.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. I should have been thinking, and I wasn't.
Okay, I can go.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to... Okay, go for it.
Ooh, love that.
Hey, everybody. So, long-time listener, first-time shout-outer. And I would just like to give a big shout out to all the drama surrounding the Malaysian flight that went missing.
Yes.
It has been gone for so long. Where is it? And, obviously lots of, speculation about where it is. I won't bore everybody with the details like I did at work the other day. And then everybody was just blinking at me really slowly. And I talked for so long, maybe 10 minutes about all of the different theories and facts that have come out. And just really, it's like not connecting with people, even though it's so interesting. And I think that that's great.
Love that. Wow. No, that's a classic.
No, that's really huge.
You guys haven't shouted out the Malaysian flight that's missing before?
We do it every episode.
After we quote the Weeds theme song.
Check our voting record. Okay.
Oh.
Hold on.
I've been there.
No, this is hard. Really tough because I'm literally what I'm doing is talk about memento. I'm going through my mind and I'm like, okay, what matters to you right now? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, not that, not that.
Your editor
really
is too active. The editor in your head is too active right now.
Yeah.
You're a creator.
Right, drunk, edit. Yeah.
Oh my God. What's up, freaks, losers, and perverts out there? I want to give a huge shout out to my internal editor. You are always there to tell me, shh, don't do that. And, sometimes I think it's good that you exist, and sometimes I think it's bad that you exist. Because when I see people without an internal editor, I go, whoa, I'm scared. Because no one is saying, hey, cut that. And you tell me to cut some good stuff, though, I will say. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to set up a meeting, we're going to be in conversation, and we are going to not be editing so hard, and we will be streaming Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Because that's what I'm shouting out.
Oh my God, it's so good. Wow. I do love that moment where your brain gives you that little thigh squeeze. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Some people don't have that.
Some people don't have that, and they're much more successful.
Is that true, though?
True. Well, it goes back and forth.
I think it's both ends of the spectrum get a lot of success. People that will just say anything. Donald Trump. He doesn't have that.
He doesn't have that.
Does Kamala Harris have too strong of an internal editor or not enough of an internal editor?
Yes, but she's coming out of her shell.
Okay.
I just listened to a podcast about this where so much of her identity was deemed politically inconvenient before. It's like everybody was saying Kamala's a cop, blah, blah, blah. And so now, because she's kind of given the time to lay out her own story the way that she wants to, she's able to be like her big thing in her speech was my best friend got molested, and then she came and lived with us because she was getting molested by her dad, and that's why I became a prosecutor. And so that is, I know this is not funny, but it's but it's it is true. You can tell a lot about a person when they're under pressure, and you can tell a lot about a person when they're given the time to tell their own story because you see how they identify themselves.
That's how I feel about Benjamin Netanyahu, and I'm really happy that he's coming out of his shell and really telling his story in a big way.
Oh my God, Bibi! Shout out to Bibi.
Well,
disaster. He is.
Oh, I'll say
he is. Yeah.
Oh, brother. Well, maybe we all come out of our shells.
Maybe we all come out of our shells. Yeah. Sophie, this has been an absolute delight.
You're so wonderful.
I'm so sad I'm not there in the room with you so we could all get drinks after. It's literally a holiday. You guys better be like...
And we're doing
getting
labor.
brunch.
We're doing labor. I mean, we're making other people do labor as well.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's
We
really
actually need to-
not
Come
right.
to Los Angeles, or we'll both come to New York,
Both
and we'll
come to
have
New
drinks
York.
and we'll watch Memento.
Yay.
Oh my God, we will do that.
Yeah.
And soft pants for everyone.
Soft pants for everyone.
Okay, so I do, not to be so LA, but I do have like a mattress on the floor in my guest room for when people come and stay, and I will drag it into my living room for an extra like lay down seat when we're watching movies.
That's really fun. There is something about the gravity here that's a little bit heavier. There's something about wanting to lay, like I have a very comfortable couch and I'm like, yeah, but
I need to be flat. I need to be flat.
I need to be flat.
Yeah, I need to be
That's
big
why
and
people-
flat like the earth.
Yeah.
That's why people want to lose weight so much, because the gravity is
much
over
more.
there.
I know.
Yeah. So, well, thanks again and see you at the office. I mean, not at the office. Bye.
Bye.